What is going on, everybody? Happy Saturday to you all, and welcome to another live beer review. Today, we're going to be taking a look at a brewery that's local to me. I've done plenty of beers from them before for a review, and they've kind of become a brewery that, in my opinion, if you come to the state of Illinois, if you come to the northwest suburbs, this is a brewery you need to go to and need to try, just because the variety of stuff they have available is always amazing when it comes to their barley wine, stouts, IPAs, sours. They do a fantastic job at pretty much everything they make, and the amount of different stuff that they make, just to have a big variety out there, is fantastic. And that's Noon Whistle. Noon Whistle is outstanding. I absolutely love their stuff. And today we're going to be taking a look at one of their, I believe they released this towards the end of the summer, almost getting towards like the fall and all that stuff. Today we're going to be looking at the Radical New Therapy Hazy Double IPA from these guys. And it's a 7.4%, loaded with like tropical citrus, hops, and all that kind of stuff. So hops that you expect with like notes of mango, pineapple, and then of course they have Citra in there, which brings off a lot of like grapefruity, citrusy notes, and it's very hoppy. I love a good hazy IPA, and these guys do a fantastic job at making any beer they make. Pretty much, I've had countless of beers from them, and they've been outstanding. So I'm pretty excited for this one. So without further ado, let's crack this guy open. Of course, big shout outs to my boy over at New Texican Brewing Company. Going to be drinking out of my New Texican pint glass this afternoon. If you have the opportunity to pick up some beer from him, do so. He just came out with a new hazy IPA from him. So you can get a bunch of the stuff that he already has available, plus the new beer, and you can get shirts, you can get pint glasses, you can stickers. He has a bunch of stuff available. So all you need to do is hit up New Texican Brewing Company on Instagram, buy some beer from him. He'll ship pretty much anywhere in the country. And he's just a fantastic dude and doing great things over there. So, of course, whenever I can rep stuff from him, I'm going to do so, because he's a great, fucking fantastic brewer. So without further ado, let's crack this guy open and see what this thing's all about. See what we get on the smell. Oh yeah, loaded with citrus already, kind of getting that like almost orangey, grapefruity on the nose. Definitely expecting there to be a nice hoppy bite. Yeah, smells absolutely delicious. So let's pour this guy. Oh yeah, nice hazy, nice fluffy head. Well, a little bit of a fluffy head. Gonna shake it around a little bit, get that sediment at the bottom moving. Yeah, that just looks like an absolutely delicious double IPA, in my opinion. Look at that. You can see a bunch of the sediment in there, which I'm okay with that, but has a nice, almost orange juicy kind of color. Nice white fluffy head on the top. Yeah, still getting a load of like tropical fruit, citrus on the nose, and it's just absolutely delicious. Absolutely delicious. So without further ado, let's give our first try of this guy. So cheers, everybody. Happy Saturday. Oh yeah. Oh yes. Definitely has that kind of nice, like pillowy, soft mouthfeel. Loads of like tropical citrus when it comes to like getting notes of grapefruit. Getting like kind of a mango-y kind of note at the end from like the hops that they use that kind of brings off those tropical fruit notes. But the aromas and all the kind of like the citrus and all that on the nose is outstanding. And it's only a 7.4%. When you get into like a double IPA, they kind of start off at like that 7% range and working their way up. So this one is on the lower range of that, because I start seeing stuff like double IPA start up at 7% and then like go up to even like 8 or 9% when it comes to a double. And once you start getting into the triple IPAs, you start going to like the 9.5, almost 10% kind of guys. But this one is absolutely delicious. Has like a nice sweetness that comes in at the end. Could be from the malts in there, along with kind of the hops that has a natural sweetness, bringing out those natural like tropical fruit flavors that they bring out. But yeah, outstanding. Yep, this one is absolutely delicious. Of course, you get all this kind of hoppy goodness floating around in there when it's sediment, and that's just concentrated flavor to me, and it's yeah, awesome. Has that hoppy bite, has that kind of creaminess, almost like a silky, velvety mouthfeel. Yeah, absolutely delicious. I already knew. I think I've had this one before, because when my dad bought this, it was a stupid deal on him where it was getting to the point where it was almost like 25 cents a can if you bought in bulk. And he bought like 4 or 5 4-packs. So he didn't spend like, I think it might have been more than 4 and 5. I know he came in with a box full of them. We just started drinking them. So they had a crazy deal on this stuff, and I could see why he got a bunch of them because they're absolutely delicious. So let's look here on Untapped. Let's look at some similar beers to this one and see if you can't get your hands on Noon Whistle, since they really don't distribute that much. I know they distribute within like the Illinois area, so you can find them at liquor stores and bottle shops in the state of Illinois, but I'm not sure if they distribute all the way to like other states. I know they might distribute up to like Wisconsin, maybe like Indiana, and maybe Iowa over on the west of us, but who knows. But this stuff is absolutely delicious, and this is a must-try brewery when it comes to the northwest suburbs of Illinois. So let's look at the similar beers and see, so that if you can't get your hands on this stuff, what are some other good options. So let's see. We got one called the Cosmic Garage Party from Riverlands Brewing Company. Let's see what that is. That's a... Okay, so it's Enigma Space. Okay, so Cosmic Punch. So that might be a good one. It's a 7.2%. Then we got one from Northwoods Brew Pub called the Wahl Ipa, which is, let's see, it's just a regular, normal kind of style Indie Pale Ale, 5.5%. So let's see, we got the Barbarian Haze from Three Floyds. Let's see what that one's all about. Okay, interesting. They're playing around with more like malt profiles in that one. And then we got the 70 Plus from Old Nation Brewing Co. Which one is that? That's probably like a 70 plus IBU, so I wouldn't really recommend that one because I don't think this one has a crazy high IBU rating. And then we got the 60 Minute IPA from Dogfish Head, which I love the Minute IPAs from Dogfish Head. Don't get me wrong, they're absolutely fantastic. But to be honest, I think the most similar beer to this one would probably be the Cosmic Garage Party from Riverlands. So if you get that one, you might have a kind of a similar experience because those bring off nice hop profiles. Definitely a lot of like tropical citrus going on there, along with, because the Galaxy brings off some nice citrusy notes and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, there's a lot. I think the Cosmic Garage Party from Riverlands would be a pretty good substitute for this one. So let's look at this description of this beer and see what they actually says. So the Radical New Therapy is a double hazy IPA that was made with Idaho 7, Nelson, and Citra hops. So the Nelson and Idaho 7 bring off nice like tropical fruit notes, and the Citra just brings off a lot of citrus and like brings off those strong citrus aromas. And that's what it says right here. Like, these hops give off a strong citrus aroma with a punch of juicy tropical flavors and a faint note of earthy undertones, which I think the earthiness might be coming from either the Nelson or the Idaho. I think leaning towards the Nelson more because that brings off like a little bit more of a pininess, and adding that little bit of earthiness, the Idaho 7 just kind of has a nice kind of tropical fruit flavor to it. So yeah, it's really well balanced. It's a nice sweetness. It's not too overly hoppy. It's not really acidic any way, which is really nice. So yeah, absolutely fantastic. So let's look here on my friends list, see if anybody on my friends list checked this one. Of course, got a bunch of family that did. So I got my uncle, didn't give a rating. My cousin gave it a 4 out of 5. And then my dad purchased it at Noon Whistle and gave it a 4 out of 5 as well. So pretty good rating so far because, like I said, 7.4% ABV. In my opinion, that's right under the threshold of being sessionable. 7.5 is where I would kind of cut the line of being sessionable. In my opinion, you can have like one or two of them be okay. And with over 917 ratings, this was an average rating of 4.03 out of 5, which is pretty damn good. Pretty damn good for being like a local place and not really getting your name out there when it comes to being available in other states and all that stuff. Having that many people check it in and have still a lot of people giving it a 4 and above shows how well they did this beer, and I think they did an absolutely fantastic job. So let's look and see what people rated this one. So this person checked it in and gave it a 4 out of 5. This person gave it a 4.75 out of 5, saying probably their best hazy. This is fantastic. Yeah, I would probably agree. This is probably one of the better hazy IPAs I've had for them. And let's see, this person gave it a 4.25. Another 4 right here, purchased at the Jackson Avenue Pub, which is a place in Naperville, Illinois. So that was in November. So let's see, another 4 out of 5 at the Jackson Avenue Pub. Let's see, this person checked it in at the Timothy O'Toole's Gurney, which is kind of like a little bar out there, pub restaurant. But they didn't give that a rating. But let's see what else. We got another one, a 3.75 out of 5. Let's see, a 4.25, 4, very tropical with lychee. Cheers. I'm not really getting much of a lychee. I think that might be adding a little bit more to that tropical fruit. And I'm not really getting like a lychee note. I'm thinking the tropical fruit flavor to me is definitely like a pillowy, soft, almost like really ripened mango to me. So let's see, another 425, 425, 375. Purchase at the Benny's Beverage Depot. Which one do they? In Elmwood Park. Okay, so you can get this at the Benny's, at a lot of Benny's when it comes to the Illinois area. So that's really cool. So, yeah, pretty good ratings on this one, I would say. I'm definitely going to give it a pretty high rating just because I think it's absolutely delicious, and I would agree that this is definitely one of their better hazy IPAs for sure. Just look at all that sitting down there. That's just concentrated flavor, my friends. See all that stuff floating in there? That stuff's just... Some of the things I love about beer the most is getting those little, like, hop kind of... Because that's the stuff left over from the hop pellets when you put it in the boil or the whirlpool, and sometimes it just doesn't really filter all the way through, and you get some of that stuff in your beer. But to me, that's just concentrated flavor, concentrated hop flavor that just help increase that kind of overall beer experience to me. So let's start figuring out what we're going to be doing for ratings on this guy. Can art. I really like what Noon Whistle does with their can art. It's simplistic, but the color choices they do with a lot of their stuff is really nice. Kind of speaks a lot for this one because it kind of has that trippy kind of feel. So it's like the dots start close together, and the further that you start going around, the more they start spreading apart. And I think that's just a really cool kind of like almost like an abstract-y kind of artwork when it comes to like just very trippy, very clean. Of course, their can art's always really, really sophisticated and just something that would catch your attention for sure when you see it in a liquor store or bottle shop. Just because it's just... I look for intricate can art, but I also look for really classy and clean can art as well. So the colors stand out to me. Of course, having that like pinkish, reddish color and like having the black in the background. Of course, whenever I see that the Noon Whistle coming on the top of the can, because this is like almost a very common style from them, when it's Noon Whistle on the top, name of the beer in the middle, and then ABV on the bottom. So that's like their kind of their token way of putting their name and what the name of the beer is on there, and then the ABV on the can. But I think they just do it really well. So easy 4 out of 5 for can art for me. I'm a really big fan of this one. And let's see. If I went over to Noon Whistle, depending on if I went over to their Naperville location or the Lombard location, and got this in a flight, would I get another one? Absolutely. Absolutely. This is, like I said, it's one of the better double IPAs I've had from these guys. And they do a fantastic job at pretty much all the beers that they make. Everything they have is super unique, super tasty. They definitely don't skimp out on the flavor when it comes to their beer. And I think that this one is just speaks testimonies on how well they're good at making a good IPA. So, yeah, I definitely get one of these again. If I got in a flight, I'd probably get a couple 4-packs like my dad did to bring them home just so we can have these around the house, because it's just a very, very good, very flavorful, very just nice, pillowy, soft double IPA, and they killed it. Absolutely killed it. So I think my final rating on this guy, let's see. I'm going to give this a solid 8.5 out of 10. Really, really good. I would definitely recommend this if you're a fan of a nice, juicy, hazy IPA. This is, for hopheads out there, this is another one that you kind of should keep on the list. If you ever come to Illinois and you have a couple days to kill over here, make your way over to Noon Whistle. I don't think this one's available at the tap room right now, but you'll always have a great experience when it comes to stuff over there. Always rotating different kind of beers, always coming out with new stuff. Of course, their selection for beer to go is always great. They have the coolers and all that kind of stuff to where they have a huge variety of different beers you can get for to-go orders as well. So, and the brewery's just a really, really fun kind of location too, because one of them, the one I went to in Naperville, is kind of like a big giant warehouse, and they always have food trucks and all that kind of stuff going through it. It's just a really, really nice atmosphere over there. So I can't really say anything bad about this brewery, to be honest. They always do great stuff over there, great for like the community, all of it. It's just everything about them I just praise highly. So yeah, solid 8.5 out of 10 for me with these guys. Absolutely delicious. But other than that, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for me today. So thank you everybody in chat for hanging out. You guys are awesome. If you haven't hit that like button yet, please do so. It would help me out a lot. Also, if you're new to the channel and like what you see, make sure to hit that subscribe button along with the notification bell. It'll let you know whenever I go live, do another review. Might have another review tomorrow for you guys. I'm not sure yet. Might have some plans going on, so I'll just have to keep you guys in the loop with that. But yeah, make your way over to Noon Whistle if you can. Link to their website's down in the description. Along if you want to see a social media aspect of beer drinking, like when you want to go over to Noon Whistle, have a flight, and check in some beers that you've had from them, get yourself on Untapped. It's a great platform. It's available on Android, iPhone, or desktop if you want to do it through the browser. You could check in beers, get badges, get different deals when it comes to different beer services out there. You could see people like me, Kentucky, Ian, Duchess is on there, Kevin K is on there. A bunch of people are over on Untapped checking in beers and just having a good time over there. Plus, it kind of can show you what's like very popular and what's readily available in your area. So if you're kind of curious of what new stuff you want to pick up when it comes to craft beer, Untapped's a great platform to do that as well. So link to my profile is down in the description below for you guys. Shoot me a friend request. I would love to see what other people are drinking that I don't have in my friends list already. So other than that, ladies and gentlemen, yeah, I think we hit everything with this one. So again, big shout outs to Noon Whistle for this one. Big shout outs to everybody in chat for hanging out. And I'm going to end this like I always end it before we get the hell out of here. If you're going to drink responsibly. Don't drink and drive. And I'll see you all next time. Cheers.